What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Oil Stream. Tommy Gazzola, what's up?
What's up, Dustin Nielson?
Haven't seen you in a while.
I know. You've been a busy boy.
You've been a busy boy.
We've been busy boys.
Busy boys.
Nice to be back.
Busy boys here in the Oil Stream. If you're listening to the Oil
sir.
Stream on the podcast later, the reason we're making these weird busy boy jokes is because Tommy Gazzola was in on the morning show with us this morning on the Nielson Show.
An honor.
Now we're back here again. And yes, in case you were wondering, are you guys going to get back to Dusty's lines from earlier today? Well, they might have to be altered. We'll get into that as we work our way through the show today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. You have any Oilers questions, you know we got you. We don't take time off. We're here, ready to answer your questions right now. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube, sub to the channel. And if you're listening to the podcast a little bit later on and you're not yet subbed to our YouTube channel, just go search Edmonton Sports Talk on YouTube and give us a sub. Chat's already moving, so that's great. We'll get into that. There's lots to discuss.
I want to talk about fourth line 2026.
Good, because so do I.
Okay.
We'll get to that. 780-218-9999. The Oil Stream is presented to you by our great partners over at Boston Pizza. I have an email actually sitting here right in front of me from Tara over at BP's talking about scheduling a patio show.
When are we going?
At some point in August.
All right.
Because you're gone next week?
I'm gone next week. I'll be
Okay.
in Calgary.
Yeah.
Not far, but
I'm not coming down to Calgary for a patio show on Oil Stream. Is that what you were suggesting?
No, I'm not suggesting
Oh, that'd be a
anything.
crazy
I would never
suggestion.
impose.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do it the next week.
Okay.
Probably on a Monday or Wednesday because I usually have to leave after that. But yeah, patio show at a Boston Pizza patio because it's patio season. They got the patio menu. They got the summer menu. They got the patios. Go down, get yourself Blue Moon, Belgian Moon, and you're going to be loving it. Loving it with our partners over at Boston Pizza.
It was 42 degrees in Phoenix, and I loved it.
42?
42.
That's gross.
Yeah. And it was gross. I love the heat. I will never complain about heat. It was very hot in Coeur d'Alene as well, but it was only like what we're getting here, maybe a little bit warmer. And then when I got back here, it was just like home. Just felt so nice.
Oh, yeah.
So the patio at BP is going to be fantastic.
You know what? When I stepped out this morning, like coming into work,
Yep.
it was a little bit cooler than it's like some of those days when it's really hot.
Yeah,
You're like,
we're coming down.
We're coming down. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of a chill in the air this morning, and I'm okay with it. I'm
That's
okay
fine.
with it. How was the hangout today with Reed?
Awesome.
He brought in like prep and everything. He had his sheets and
His three things that he's going to be bringing to his show with Jay Milne is fascinating. Like, it got me mad. And I didn't think of it. I'm like, you clever son of a bitch.
yeah.
That is the hook. It got me mad. He was talking about like sticklers in golf, and I'm just like, this is why he's so good. This is why he's so good. And the way he discussed it and got me going, like, I wanted to, he brought up the 3 points, and the first one had me so mad, and I wanted to continue on, and then he's like, we got to move on to the second thing. And that got me even more mad, and then the third thing was good, but hangout was awesome. And him and Iwanek, I like how they kind of like butted heads a bit on the air.
Good.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go at Matty. Good for
good.
Reed.
It was
for
good.
Reed.
I
Reed,
mean-
I'm proud of you. Proud of you, Reed Wilkins. Reed Wilkins show starting in September, 3 to 6 with Jay Milne every single day, and so from 1 to 3 leading into them. We'll have an announcement on our new 1 to 3 host.
Can I just say something? You
Don't
did
give it away.
You did it again. That's all I'm going to say.
Thanks, Tommy. I think it's a good one.
Ah.
I think it's a good one. Should be. I think people are pretty excited.
You did it again, brother.
We're excited about it.
Yes.
It's not Stoff, but Stoff did have a little
something.
tweetaroo. So this came out while you guys were on. I was busy meeting with said person and dealing with some other stuff, so I didn't even see it. But here's the tweet from Stoff about an hour ago. Of course, Bob Stoffer over on Ched.
Huge EST fan.
I thought I'd see him at the Hlinka, but I didn't see him. Now, mind you, he might have been up sniffing around with the
Doing
scouts,
important
but
things.
that's where all the executives sit.
Uh-huh.
So that's probably where he was. I gotta say though, there like the booth that I talked about this morning a bit, but the booth that Louis and Jack used to call games, like that makeshift.
It has the riser.
Yeah. So
this is, by the way, this happens in a bunch of arenas around the league. Like Dallas has it, LA has it. It's not unique to Edmonton.
Yeah.
But
anyway, it's too small.
Yes.
I know, like Jack's not that tall. Louis is a little bit taller, but it's not made for somebody who's 6'5".
No.
Like with my headset on, if I was to stand straight up, my head would be jammed against the roof.
Yes.
So I had to kind of spread my legs a bit.
Yes.
And then usually I always stand to call stuff, but I
Do
realized.
you actually? You don't sit?
No. So for every football game, I
Well,
stand.
I look back at
I'm
the
always
booth
standing.
and I see you in suits.
I like standing. Now, with that being said, by the end of day 1, I guess early into day 2, and Button said he likes to stand too, so we were standing, and I looked at him before
Greg's
we
a
got
big
into
guy,
like day
too.
2. I was like, you want to stand for like another 10 hours
Why don't
today,
they
or should
give
we
you a
sit down?
stool? Because I know they have a chair there. But what about like a stool so you're elevated?
Kind of a lean stand. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I ended up just sitting down for most of the tournament. After I
Okay.
stood up for the Canadian semifinal and the gold medal game.
Yep.
But yeah, it was really tight there. Yeah.
How did you like calling that tournament?
Oh, it was
it's a
great.
different tournament. It's quick. It moves.
Yeah, it moves pretty quick. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of hockey, obviously, but it was a lot of fun. After like seeing all the teams twice,
Yep.
I don't even really need my prep. And like you just know everybody and it locked
It just
in. So
flows.
tournament, hopefully the call got a little bit better as the tournament went along. But
Your call at the end with the clincher. I know they scored at the end, but Czechia did.
yeah,
but
yeah.
I think you summed it up nicely. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
well, thanks, Tommy. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's
Slip me
that's
a
great.
20 on my way out.
Yeah, you know what? I will give you $20 cash, 2 10s. But yeah, no, tournament's good. Although I did, we'll get to that stuff between just a second because I did see somebody.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry.
for sure. I mean, it's middle August. Shout out Stoff for dropping the Kane stuff. I got a little bit to add to it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
No,
Sure.
but somebody over, I don't know if it was Tango or Tango says, how come the crowds were bad at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament? And the doc replies and goes, because it's August. And yeah, I mean, first of all, if you were expecting at an 11 or a noon game on a Tuesday in August between Slovakia and Finland to have any sort of crowd, no chance. No chance. Remember, they had the summer,
World
summer
Juniors
World
couple
Juniors
years.
here. There was
Same
nobody
thing.
of that either.
Yeah.
So they only sold the lower bowl, the side you could see on TV. So it was just half the lower bowl. And for the last 2 Canadian games, like for the gold medal game, it was pretty full. And for the semifinal game, it was a pretty good crowd too.
Yeah.
The game against Sweden on Wednesday night was a decent crowd for what they were expecting. But in no way would I ever blame an event or fans or anything for not having a good crowd at Germany, Czechia, 3:00 on a Wednesday afternoon in August.
Yeah.
Hell, technically, I didn't even want to be there. You know what I mean? Like,
It's fair. Like, dude, we're in the hockey mecca outside of Toronto, whatever. I think people get hockeyed out here. It's okay. But like my friends were going to those games and they're like, this is fantastic. But yeah, like
the Canadian games were as
it's-
well attended as they expected them to be. So,
yeah. Like,
yeah.
listen, they know that the Hlinka Gretzky is not World Juniors. And after seeing what happened with World Juniors when it came through here 3 times in like a 2-year span, it's tough, man. It's a tough sell. Kudos to the fans that showed up.
Yeah, I mean, there was Canadian jury. Like the gold medal game was awesome.
The guy on the
was
second
awesome.
half of the name of the tournament was asking about it, and I
Oh yeah,
showed him the crowds, and he's
Yeah.
like, well, I think it'll get better.
yeah.
He
The
cares.
the great one.
He cares.
And Tommy spent some time with the great one last week.
A lot, actually.
A lot of time.
He's a great man.
Yeah, you still won't get him on the oil stream.
I'll ask him.
You should. He's a broadcaster now.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, that'd be nice.
I had the good fortune of
He's your buddy.
having lunch with him, or no, dinner with him 3 times. He's a good dude.
Does he eat Caesar salad?
No,
No.
no,
Man, I thought maybe the great one would be,
the good stuff.
yeah.
Steak,
Oh,
pasta,
steak.
red wine.
All the time, eh? The steaks. Love it.
Those guys live in a different world, man.
No.
I saw Dougie Waite.
Okay.
Dougie Waite, what a beauty, man. Such a good guy. What We should talk about the new inductees into the Oilers Hall of Fame as well.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah, because Wayne asked about that.
Did he?
He's on that board, right?
He's on that board.
Yeah. Randy Gregg, obviously.
So what did he ask about?
Craig
Was he
McTavish.
wondering who got in?
Reaction.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
He's
of
on the
course.
board.
I mean,
He
the reaction. Yeah. I mean,
Reaction.
the reaction will always be
He
good.
wants to know reaction. Like, what are people back
Mac
at
T
Edmonton
and Randy
thinking?
Gregg?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good reaction.
Great choices.
Yeah.
And we discussed like upcoming Hall of Fame inductees. I don't want to speak for him, but there are people who have been longtime members of the organization who continue to be that he thinks should be part of it, not players. It's interesting. It's cool to see this Oilers Hall of Fame and the names that are going up. And I think a lot of people will look at it and go, yep, those are great names to add. And there's some other notable ones that he's like, well, equipment guys, training staff, this and that, they should be recognized as well. He thinks about everybody. It's cool to hear him speak of these things.
When you say him, you mean the great one.
The great one.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, okay. Wow, yeah, everything everybody said about you is true. Like, he wants to see Sparky on the Oilers Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He wants to see Barry Stafford.
Yeah,
in the
get
Oilers
Staffy
Hall
up
of
there.
Fame.
Yeah.
And, like, listen, there's a committee, obviously, and maybe we see them. I hope that those guys are amazing. They're still around, that they're honored, but the new inductees are great choices, too.
Yeah.
Mac T is Mr. Oiler, if you think about it. Dr. Randy Gregg, still in the community, doing great things with the Riverhawks.
My God, the Riverhawks.
It's
almost, what, 8,000 for the playoff
fantastic.
game?
My mom, Eva G, we're driving. She picked me up from the airport the other day, and she goes, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." As we're coming down the valley into,
She never been to the River Valley before.
oh, she's been, but she's driving, and my mom's like at 2 and 10, and I'm like, yeah, there's a baseball game going on. She's like, oh, are they winning? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got here.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So 2 fantastic choices to the Oilers Hall of Fame, and I think we're going to see. Kelly Buchberger's got to be up there soon, I would think. Billy Ranford, I think, will be coming up soon. Cujo, do you think Cujo gets in there?
Eventually. How many?
2.5 years he played.
I was just going to ask you, how many years was it? You might not be getting it in 2.5 years. But, I mean, they're going to want to keep adding to people all the time. So, in like 10 years, could be sitting there going, Cujo's time.
It's going to be full by then?
Does it get full?
No,
Right?
technically no.
You can always just, make it bigger.
All they have to do is add names to the ring and give these guys jackets with their names on them.
Bingo. Exactly. Easy enough. Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Okay, we got to get into this Evander Kane stuff. D. White says, have you discussed the Kane being traded rumors? I don't understand that. I have. Where? What
do you mean you don't?
Where are the Kane being traded rumors? Where are those? Because we got the Stoff tweet, then we got the 2 Mutts Hockey Podcast. Shout out to those guys for some kind words.
Josh and the crew.
They said they're seeing different things in Stoff. So anyway, here's this tweet from Stoff today. This is the Oil Stream, brought to you by Boston Pizza. Be ready for our patio show later this month. So Stoff tweets earlier today, hearing there's a very good chance that the Edmonton Oilers' Evander Kane will not be ready for the start of the season, that he may require surgery, and is likely to be on the LTIR to start the year.
Confirmed.
Okay. So it's funny because I'm not going to name names, but I bumped into somebody from the organization yesterday.
2 days ago?
It's on the weekend.
Yeah.
Saturday
it's been a blur.
Saturday or Sunday we were talking about Evander Kane. And we were talking about the cap. We started talking about the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, you got to get under. And he goes, we think there's 3 ways we can get under the cap. And one of them was Evander Kane going on the LTIR. Okay. And what I had heard is that, like, what he needs to get, like, he needs like both sides kind of fixed. And
Confirmed.
Like for the future of his career, because Evander Kane should still some very good years. I mean, Stoff's
okay. Like a month ago, right after the Cup run, we were hearing that Kane would be ready to go for the season, right?
okay.
Now, Bob's putting this out there, and it's talking to people in the hockey ops department. They're saying, yeah, that's valid. So why are we hearing mixed signals and messages? I think it has to do with the player. And I think I kind of don't understand, but at the same time, I get it. It's like he knows how to play it. The team obviously needs the cap space, so we'll see. But it's strange.
I was talking to you yesterday. He said if they went through the surgery, basically be LTIR the whole season and could be back for the playoffs.
Okay.
So that would free up any of the cap issues you have to start the year.
It would. And then some.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting, though.
It's up to the player.
Yeah, it does seem like maybe people who the player would be sending information to is different than what the team is sending information to.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, that's a problem. Like when the player and the team aren't on the same page, and I know it's not always going to be, happy-go-lucky and everybody's going to be happy and everything's going to work out extremely well. And they're saying, well, you think this might be best for me. So, well, I think this is going to be best for me. And, well, this really helped the team. Well, I got to worry about me. You'd love to see everybody on the same page. But the fact that there is some conflicting stuff on this kind of sucks a little bit, especially considering how good of spot they're in heading into the season.
Yes. And then the trade thing, Pagnotta said it on Hello Hockey. They'd move on from him. They'll field any options they could on potentially moving on from Evander Kane. I don't think that's a surprise. Shouldn't be. So, but again, he has a full no move. That's a hindrance. Price tag, hindrance. Health, hindrance. I don't think there's a market for him.
I mean, not when his health hangs in the balance.
Yeah.
Like, no, but if this is not repaired, nobody's going to want him moving forward. If it's going to be this thing that continues to linger for him, and, you give him credit for pushing through and trying to contribute where he could, and finally he just got to be too much. I mean, if it's something that does require significant surgery, I don't know why he would be opposed to the surgery. That's what it doesn't add up to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
They would be better with a healthy top of his game. Even I'm not talking like prime Evander Kane. I'm talking like
Just
him at his best right
effective.
now. They'd be better. See you later, Trev. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I don't think if they don't have Evander Kane, I don't want to slight the player, but if they don't have Evander Kane for the playoffs next year, I don't think, oh, no, now they can't win the cup. I still think
Fair.
that's a group that they can win the Stanley Cup with. Would they be better and have a better chance if you got healthy Evander Kane
Dialed in.
playing his game that we saw in the playoffs a couple years ago?
Yes.
Of course. But I don't think this would be the end of the world
No.
for this team right now.
Fair point.
What say you? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. One-Eyed Pete is in and says, don't the Oilers hold the cards now, though, on Kane?
No.
How will he even pass his medical? I mean, at the beginning of the year, right? Don't you have to go through some physical testing?
Yes, you have to pass your physical, all that stuff.
So if he goes
they
into
could
that
put
and fails it,
LTIR.
then they...
Now, here's the thing, is if he plans on playing and he considers himself healthy and passes the physical, then you can't do that. But this news kind of changes it. It's an interesting dance that we've witnessed. Team player. Yeah. Dusty, I really don't know. Like, it's like, this is an interesting development. Good for the team. Good for the team at the end of the day.
Oh, if cap-wise, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what if you get a wild card and he's like, no, I'm going to play.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I just don't understand what's going on here. Right? Like, is he injured enough that he requires surgery? Okay, get the surgery.
Sounds like yes.
Okay, but is it? Like,
are you going to get surgery? Why didn't you get surgery when you had a hernia during the season?
Why didn't you get the surgery?
That's why I'm
in
saying
February.
It's kind of up to him.
Well, then what's going on here? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah. It's a back and forth. It's a dilemma. And I'll say this. It goes back to what Pagnotta said on Hello Hockey. If they can move on from him and there's a suitor out there that wants him, they would do it.
Impossible. There's no chance any team in the league would take him on with the current situation where it's like, is he going to have surgery? Is he not going to have surgery? What's happening? Like, that's not going to happen. We're going to be sitting here talking about Evander Kane on the LTIR in February, March, and saying, well, he's starting to skate again and he wants to come back, but they don't have room for him. They want to wait out to the playoffs, and who knows? Maybe in a perfect world, he returns next year for the playoffs. He hasn't played hockey all year. He's super healthy. He's absolutely flying, and they win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
That's also, I guess, a possibility right now.
And then you go, thank you, handshake, off you go.
I know a bunch of people were like, Dusty, the iHeart stream cut out briefly when you said there's 3 ways to clear cap. Can you please say them again? I didn't say them because the conversation I was having with the guy, we got sidetracked on the Kane stuff, and I didn't get to the other 2 options. I mean, the other trades, probably trade this guy, CC Kulak, get to the cap space, you need to get it done.
Yes.
Send down a couple guys, give you the cap. Actually, that's probably the 3 ways. Kane goes LTIR, they trade one of CC or Kulak, or you send down a couple of guys who can be sent down, and you're running 2021 or whatever again. Those would be the 3 ways.
Yeah.
There's not another way. Those are 3 ways. I think.
Don't think so. Can I talk about how good Derek Ryan looked in Spokane?
Of course.
Amazing. His skating was phenomenal. I saw Kyler Yamamoto, caught up with him a little bit. He looks great. I saw Jujhar Khaira. He looks great. Met his girlfriend. Beautiful, lovely girl. Important stuff. Yamo hopefully gets a deal somewhere. Juge hopefully gets a deal somewhere. I saw Patty Maroon.
How's he doing?
The best.
Yeah?
That guy is an absolute beauty. Absolute gem of a human being. He's going to have a good time in Chicago. He actually said to me, he's like, hey, Tommy, let's catch up. So we sat and we talked. And
who's this, Maroon?
Yeah. He's like, once an Oiler, always an Oiler, right? And I was like, I guess so.
Was he trying to get a job here when he's done?
No. But you know he could.
Yeah.
You know he could. That guy is a tremendous human being. And the fact that Big Rig started here, he's still proud of it. So just an update.
All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Lots of text messages rolling in. We've got a bunch of nasty chats that we'll certainly get to as well. Oil Stream brought to you in part by Furby and the crew over at Popeyes. We were thinking about getting those wings today, but then we both just been too busy. So we didn't get the Popeyes boneless wings today, but sure like to get my hands on some of those. It'd be delicious. Come in all the same flavors as the bone-in wings, except plot twist, bones out.
Basically nugs.
At all Popeyes. Look, that is an ongoing debate that'll last forever.
And I'm okay with
that. Why don't you just call them chicken nuggets instead of boneless wings? I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I got a lot of time for the conversation. Yeah,
I think it's a pride thing. And you know what? I'm okay with boneless wings.
Yeah, me too.
Fantastic.
I'll go a little bit further. I probably give them a slight advantage over the bone-in wings. Because I'm not a good bone-in wing eater anyway. I leave a lot of stuff on there.
Yep.
But with the bone out ones, you eat the whole thing. So it's just easier.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a couple of your text messages here.
Can I go to Surveyor Brett? Tommy, quote unquote, name drop Gazzola? Yes. I know. I did that. I'm sorry. I had a
Still,
fun week.
You got to meet a bunch of guys over the last couple weeks.
I got to catch up with a bunch of guys, and they're beauties. That's all I'm going to say. Duck Dad, yes, very positive because you know what? Those are good people.
I'll say this. If I had dinner 3 nights in a week with Wayne Gretzky, I'd mention it too.
It was pretty cool.
I had dinner last night with my good friend, Glenn Suter. Because that's what friends do.
Was graced with Glenn Suter's presence. I had the privilege of working with him and you last night. I don't know where I stand with Suits. I think I'm just like a side piece. And I'm okay with that.
Weird thing. No. Suits a big team. Suits a big team guy.
Suits is great.
Everybody's a part of the team.
Yeah.
Except those of us who bail on the CFL during the summer and don't work it. Shog. My goodness. He's busy.
He's busy.
He's busy not being busy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a few other messages that have rolled in. Lots. I don't want like. I know I had the hot take on the chicken tendies. Mm-hmm. Not on this show. We can do that Wednesday or something. But there's actual legitimate things to discuss on the show today. So let's get into that. Hey, boys, should we be surprised about this disconnect? This seemed to be the case during the regular season and the playoffs when he was clearly laboring and missing every practice. The coaches finally just lost patience in the Florida series and scratched him.
He was hurt. We'll start there. Should we be surprised about the disconnect? No. I want to be smart about this. Good player. They have to worry about his health. They have to play it right. The disconnect, should we be surprised? No. Again, we're getting mixed signals. So that's it's just interpret it how you will.
Ethan from Airdrie texts and says, hey, boys, with it being a very good chance that Kane is out to start the year, do you think the offers will be pitched to Holloway and Broberg sooner rather than later, or does this not affect that situation at all? I mean, they're probably going to get deals done with those guys anyway, so yes. I don't necessarily know if they, like, I hope. Can you imagine a world where this is how it operates? Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman see Stoff's tweet and are like, oh, now we can go get deals done with Broberg and Holloway.
I'm sure they planted that
I like
seed.
to live in a world. I love to live in a world where that would actually be a case.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I had no idea. Somebody get Holloway on the line.
Hello.
Yeah.
Not how it works.
That'd be pretty funny, though. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999.
The doc via the nasty chat says, I, for one, am stunned that Kane is doing the thing that Kane is known to do every team he plays for. Who could have seen this coming? The doc, well said. Well said.
It's not. There's just a track record there that
has not changed.
The player butts heads sometimes with organizations.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, if he has to look after his he's got to do what's best for him.
Yes.
It's just weird that some people are saying, well, this is what's best for him. And then he's probably telling other people, it's frustrating. It's a frustrating situation. If you're hurt, get better, come back.
Yeah. In theory, it's simple. Sometimes they don't want to make it simple.
Max Bazuzu over in the nasty chat. This is great. If I had dinner with Gretzky 3 nights in a row, I would put it on my resume. Just somebody's looking at Max's resume. Hold on. Let's see here. Oh, construction from 2010 to 2014. Oh, went back to school. Came out. You're an accountant now. That's great. What's this one here? What's these 3 nights? Oh, yeah, that was the nights I had dinner with Gretzky. And you know what? For some people hiring in this city, they'd be like, you're in. Because if you have dinner with Gretzky, then you're good enough to work here.
That's
you know
how I
mean?
got this job.
Yeah, exactly.
To the people that don't like me, that's how I got this job.
Yeah.
Dusty was like, we need you.
Exactly.
You had dinner with him.
I haven't had dinner with Gretzky.
He's a great
Eric
man.
Owanek, Zacticum. I mean, it'd be funny if Zacticum had dinner with Gretzky.
I hope he does one
Sits
day.
down with him and goes, who are you? All right, 780-218-9999. Anyway, that's a good one. Sean Daniels show says, Tom and Dusty, I'm heading to Nunavut today. Any advice?
Have fun.
I don't know. Dress warm.
Yeah.
What's it like up
Enjoy
there
it.
right now?
I'm sure it's nice.
What's the temperature in
I don't know.
Nunavut?
I have no idea.
You know what? I'm going to guess, and then I'm going to look it up.
The furthest I've gone is GP. North.
Fort Mac's higher than Grand Prairie, right? So I guess my record would be Fort Mac.
I've never been to Fort Mac. Shout out to everybody in Fort Mac.
It's a weird thing to say.
I've never been.
I guess there's been no reason for you. I only went up there. Yeah, you know what? If I didn't go up there and work, meet my wonderful wife, I don't think I would have ever been up to Fort Mac either. So, fair enough. I'm going to guess right now in Nunavut it is
20?
What is it here right now? What's it here? Like 28 or something?
I hope so.
What's the temperature here today? Let's just see. Let's take a quick peek. Clausen, are you listening? You text me the temperature. 26 degrees. What did I guess?
20. No.
I guess 28.
28.
It's going to be 28 later today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say in Nunavut right now it is 21. Let's see.
Look it up.
Nunavut temperature. My wife and kids are coming home today. Whoa, it's 7 degrees up there right now.
7?
7.
Oh.
Looking for a high of 21. I was way off.
Damn.
7 degrees up there. Oh, anyway, man, I take a long sleeve shirt. That's my advice. Take a long sleeve shirt
of some sort.
He's going up to drill for uranium. Nice.
That's important.
Nice. Survey Brett says, did Tommy convince Gretzky to be the new 1-3 host on EST?
I tried. He doesn't want it.
Oh, what?
Very happy at TNT.
Oh, whatever.
Do we offer millions per year?
He gets millions?
Millions.
Some guys, eh?
No big deal.
Some guys.
No big deal.
Everything works out for him. You score a few goals in the 80s, and everything's set up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, yeah, no, he won't be here. I saw some of you saying, hey, is it Struddy? It wouldn't be Struddy. Struddy's coaching, and he's got kids and stuff from 1 to 3.
Busy boy.
Like, if Jason Strudwick wants to come and do 1-3 here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the door is open.
Yes.
Struddy can walk in. Yeah. But, no, Struddy, God love him, but
I love
too busy for that.
I miss Struddy.
Everybody misses Struddy.
I know. That guy's an angel.
All right, 780-218-9990. You any other tidbits? Didn't you say this morning you had some tidbits?
With the team?
Yeah, Tommy's Tidbits. It's a new segment.
Tommy's Tidbits.
Yeah, brought to you by our great partners over at Coolbet. Tommy's Tidbits.
Tommy's Tidbits.
It's almost time for the rankings of
importance. Yeah, we're getting closer to that.
The ROIs. That also means return on investment.
It does. It does. Those are important things. No, it's been very quiet. Everybody's away. Like, they're genuinely, like, hockey's off of everybody's mind.
I thought Draisaitl deal was supposed to be done 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes. This is something that has been discussed. Yeah, it was supposed to be done, right?
2 weeks ago, people were like, oh, that's going to be done right away.
Yeah, and I like how we got dumped on, or the local media got dumped on, suggesting it was only 3 to 5 years. All I know and have been told about the Draisaitl deal, take it for what it's worth. I'm not an insider. This is what I've been told. The groundwork's been laid. It's up to Leon. Does he want 5 years or does he want 8? If he wants 5, the AAV is higher than if he wants 8.
Yeah.
Because if he wants 8, when he's 36 years old, he's not going to be the same player that he is now, so the AAV is going to have to come down. He decides.
Okay, so
he makes, and the other thing is he gets more than Matthews. And then Connor, the vault's open for Connor.
Of course. Literally, they
Simple
should have
as that. Like,
all the money in a vault for him, and he just opens it.
It's up to Leon. He decides, does he want to stay here and try to win? My gut says yes.
How old would he be after a 5-year deal? 32?
Yeah. And then he could swing away and get another big contract.
Probably get another good 5-year deal.
He would get a fantastic contract. Look at Andrei Kopitar.
Okay, so let's play the Smash Hit game brought to you by Coolbet. Sign up for an account today at coolbet.com. The Smash Hit game. What would you do if you were that guy? So what would you do, Tommy, if you were Leon Draisaitl? Would you take a 5-year deal and give this organization 5 more years, risk it a little bit that you have some sort of bad injury and you don't get another decent-sized deal, or you take your 5 years and then kind of believe in yourself that you're going to cash in another huge deal at 33, Or do you just take the 8 and ride it out and get that extra year right now?
If you take the 5, it's a low risk.
Still 5 years. It's still going to be
the kid's made a ton of money. He knows it. He's smart with his money. He's going to make a ton more. Probably has great investments. It depends on what his motivation is. Does he want to win? His best chance is here. Because if he goes somewhere else, they're going to have to make room. Are there a lot of other potential landing spots that are in a prime position like the Oilers are right now? Do they have his best friends on the team? No. Does the counter that I got to that thought process was he wants to go and prove he's the guy somewhere else. Does he, though? He doesn't need to.
He's already done that here once.
Everybody respects him for what he does.
Here.
Yeah.
Like, we know he could be the guy.
Yeah. And I think he
problem is that it's not a problem. The luxury is here. You got 2 the guys.
Yes. That's why I think he stays. But, I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before.
Smitty the Welder says, I don't think it makes any sense for Leon to sign for 4 to 5 years. Yeah,
Why?
It's just, I don't know. What would I'm just trying to think long-term
because you maximize
money.
your AAV, right? Like if you draw it out, by the time you're 33, 34, 35, you're not considered, probably not a top player. So a team can go to you and say, hey, we know we're not getting prime Draisaitl. You shouldn't be paid $14 million.
Okay, so let's say he signed 13.5 for it'd probably be like 14 for 5. Okay, so that's 14 for 5 instead of 13.5 for 8 or whatever. Just the numbers would be different. But.
Yeah.
So when the 5 years are up, is he going to make more or less than the 13.5 that the other number would have been on his next deal? Like, will his next deal's AAV after 5 years be? I don't.
So that's where he's betting on.
I'm looking at it going. Let's say he signs for 5 years. I still think it'll end up being 8, but let's just say he signs for 5 years. Mm-hmm. After those 5 years, is his next deal more money than he just made, or less money? With the cap continuing to go up, let's say he has a bang in 5 years, delivers a couple of Stanley Cups.
Yeah,
it's some team going to be like, we want you for 6 more years at 16 a year.
Okay.
Or does somebody go, hey, man, we'll give you 5 or 6 more years, but it's for 11.
Steven Stamkos.
And what'd he get?
He got a decent deal.
He got more than I thought. Didn't he get like 8?
Yeah.
And some people were thinking he might, well, what Tampa offer? The garbage offer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could happen, potentially.
Chris says, you're betting on your future health after 5 years. I mean, either way, Leon Draisaitl would be set for life financially anyway.
He's already
but
set
you still want to make as much as you possibly can. I would think it's probably 8, but like Tommy said, it's in his hands right now. There's a 5 and there's an 8, and he's probably gonna take the 8.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, you get the guarantee of 8, or do you want to bet on yourself on 5? And listen, 5 is still a long term. It's still a long term.
I think I just take the 8.
How many guys play out the entire 8?
The $8 million through the second half of your prime and then the beginning of your twilight, and just cash it.
You want to coast?
Just cash it.
Coast is not the right word.
Oh, we don't have to worry.
You want to be comfortable. Yeah. I get it.
Propane Pimp is in and says 8 by 13.5 with a full no movement clause. He requests to be moved whenever he wants, and at 35, he likely won't get $13.5 million on his next deal. Well, he's living his good life right now. I mean, people are texting in saying they're watching on Instagram and stuff. I don't necessarily spend my summers perusing Oilers Instagrams, but apparently he's having lots of vacations and lots of fun stuff.
Yes.
So that's real nice.
They all do. They all live very comfortably.
Of course,
in the off season.
You're a millionaire.
Yeah.
1,000 times over, not 1,000 times over, but You're multimillionaires with nothing to do during the summer.
Correct.
Of course you're going to travel the world.
All you do is train.
You work out and you go on vacation.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet gig. Some of them get married. Some of them get engaged. But you're still having a real nice time. Mm-hmm. Real nice time. 780-218-9999. Hey, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. We were talking about how Tommy had supper with Gretzky 3 times last week.
Yes.
And the one guy said, what did he say? I read the message earlier. Oh, I'd put it on my resume.
Oh, yeah.
Some other guy texted it and says, resume? I put that on my gravestone. Here lies Smitty the welder. Had dinner with Wayne Gretzky 3 times. 1960 to 2040.
Yeah. You know what's the coolest part?
That'd be funny.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
Even though he's got a statue outside the rink that I had to throw the commercial on about 1 million times over the last week.
Correct.
Sam, the producer, be like, we're going to go to commercial with the Gretzky statue. Yeah. I was like, okay. And I timed up the words well enough that I'd be like, okay, we'll be back at the Hlinka, and then they cut to Gretzky, and I'd go Gretzky Cup. And it worked out well because it was Gretzky holding the cup. It seemed to make a lot of sense.
Just a good dude. Can I ask something? This is something I've wondered for a while, and I think OEG is going to handle it right. As much as we like to dump on them for their ticket prices and venue prices for beer, food, and all that stuff, they do some things right. When are they going to get the Messier statue? When are we going to see the Glenn Sather statue? And maybe some others. Like, there are...
Jeez, we're talking statues now.
But, like, I know that these are supposed to be special things. There's a Luc Robitaille statue outside of Crypto.com Arena, for crying out loud.
Okay, but do you think there should be a Luc Robitaille statue out there?
No.
So then do you want to get to the point where we start doing that here?
Yeah, but why can't there be a Mark Messier statue on the north side?
There could be a statue of the Moose.
Yeah, on phase 2. Why isn't there a Glenn Sather statue? Seriously. Legit.
So you
all
put
we have
the
is the Wayne
Messier
Gretzky
one
statue.
over by the parking lot on the north side.
Well, it's not going to be a parking. It's going to be that's going to be phase 2. They're going to build that.
Yeah.
And I think there should be a Glenn Sather one. And listen, where that NoFX concert was yesterday, there's talk that might be a new arena, like 5,000 to 8,000 seats. Whatever they decide to do.
Where are they going to have the punk show then?
Oh, wherever. At the new arena.
Oh, I guess you could do that. You could just do it inside.
That. Yeah. Looked like it was a great time, by the way.
They can fit an 8,000-seat arena in that spot?
It was ready to go before COVID.
Right there, that's it?
For the Oil Kings.
8,000?
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent-sized space, I guess.
It is. You can make it work.
They'd probably put I was going to say, could you put a pedway connecting them?
Of course.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Why wouldn't you?
Big fan of pedways for, like,
they're great.
Winter walking.
Yes. But, like, seriously, like, there should be... Those 2 guys should be immortalized with statues.
Those would be the only 2 other guys.
Yeah.
I think so.
Gretzky's statue was unveiled in 1989.
Gretzky statue dropped in 89.
Yes.
Like right after he left.
Yes.
I guess, yeah, that was
and
it. The old part for a
Molson.
long. It was presented?
By Molson.
God, imagine getting a statue sponsored. Legendary move.
Right?
So, yeah, it's been like 35 years since they dropped a new statue. Maybe it's time.
It's time.
Now, what would you do for the Moose's statue, though? Because you can't have him just holding the cup up.
Yes, you can.
Just like Wayne, same thing. Don't you want something different? Remember
how did
Mario
he
Lemieux
hold
statue? He's like walking around the island.
Yeah, with
like,
Rich Pilon.
Pilon gets the Rich Pilon statue.
Yeah, that's outside of PNG Paints Arena. It's a great statue, but like, I wouldn't want the opposition players in my statue. Yeah. I'd be like,
well, that being said, he was dangling them. If anything, they should have had John Casey laying on his side just outside the crease.
Anyway, there will not be a Ryan Smith statue.
No, of course not.
Not
but what would you do with Messier's statue?
Cup.
You would go
for
cup?
Sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely. And the other thing is he's from here.
Well, he'll have at some point somebody will be like, man, what else can we do to honor the group from the 80s still? And somebody will say Messier statue.
Let's name ballrooms after them.
Yeah.
In a fancy hotel.
You could go Messier Coleman statue. Messier Gary Coleman.
With the stubby beer?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sitting there with just a towel.
Small towel.
Just say, where you get your picture? I gotta go get my picture with the Messier Gary Coleman statue.
There's people taking pictures with Bob and Doug McKenzie all the time.
Yeah. Why can't you do this?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
There's also people joining Bob and Doug McKenzie looking like them all the time.
Does that statue getting that much play downtown?
Oh, it gets a lot of play.
I usually don't go town, obviously, because I'm very scared of it. But yeah. But I mean,
that's my hood.
I've been downtown a lot in the last week, and still prefer not to be. Yeah, I don't know how you guys live downtown.
Ream me. Oh, God. That's so funny.
This is a good one. Messier statue is him elbowing someone in the head while eating a bag of Lay's chips.
How about that commercial?
No, I think it should be him looking at his phone talking to Connor. Connor, it's me, Mess. The moose. And he's looking down at his phone. That would be would be a good one. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, it's supposed at some point you got to have those guys, like especially with Glenn Sather retiring finally, and the impact he had in New York has been amazing. Obviously, what he did here, phenomenal, but I think it has to happen at some point.
Yeah, Brett B says Messier statue with him taking the picture for Connor. That's the one. What a legendary commercial. I think that's a pretty good one as well. It is the Oil Stream. We are brought to you by Boston Pizza. We'll be doing a Boston Pizza patio show here at some point as well. I did want to get to my lines today, but they totally got screwed over by all this Evander Kane news.
Sure.
So if Evander, well, we'll get to it maybe on Wednesday. I'm just thinking if Evander Kane is LTIR'd, what are your lines for next year? We'll get into that on Wednesday. Definitely put together something there. Today on the show, I was trying to do 4 lines that you could just roll. It was McDavid between Brown and Skinner, Draisaitl between Hyman and Janmark, Nuge with Arvidsson and Holloway, and then Henrique with Kane and Derek Ryan. You're not just rolling a 4th line next year of Derek Ryan, Matthias Janmark, and Corey Perry, right?
What if you did?
Well, as of right now, if Kane's out, you got those 12 forwards, and then some of the younger guys that could maybe push for a 13 spot if they can afford it. What did I say? Ryan between Janmark and Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that line.
Man.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
But their top 9 are awesome. So
okay, matter. But
well, no,
in December, when the team's doing just fine, and that's your 4th line, are you going, oh, I hate that 4th line?
Well, I didn't say I hated it. I said I didn't like it.
Okay. It's not a playoff 4th line.
Well, no, and that's the thing. I don't want to take anything away from the regular season next year. But it doesn't mean jack squat. This team was 1 game away from a Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, everybody has to be healthy. Everybody has to be ready to drop the puck in the playoffs next year. So, well, we'll get into that on Wednesday. On Wednesday's Oil Stream will be a world where Evander Kane doesn't exist. He's not on the team anymore. He's on the LTIR. What's that look like? What can you do with the lines? Is the team not have enough physical play at that point? That's what we'll do on Wednesday. Start planning for it. Should be a lot of fun.
We've had a long Monday. It's been a fun Monday.
It's been a long Monday. Yeah, thanks for coming in this morning, buddy.
No problem.
It was a good time. Fun Oil Stream today too. Brought to you by our partners at Boston Pizza. They got their summer menu out. Hit up the patio as well. Chris says, Dusty, how many minutes you assign into the 4th line? Well, which 4th line are we talking about? Usually I only want to assign like 7 minutes, 8 minutes. But if you can roll out that line like I had this morning, Oil Stream today. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Nielsen Show replay is coming up, and that'll be that's it just for this month. And then we are on to a full day of programming, which should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to what we've put together for you in the afternoons. Should be a pretty good time. And I guess we'll wait and see what the news is on Evander Kane in 48 hours, because it could be a little bit different.
Tell us, Bob.
Tommy, you go to sleep, buddy.
You too.
I'm going to go to sleep too. Yeah. We're going to go to sleep now. That's going to do it for the oil stream today. Brought you by Popeyes, Coolbet, presenting sponsor, Boston Pizza. Oil stream will be back at noon on Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow morning with the Nielsen Show at 6 o'clock. Please make plans to join us then. I promise you it'll be so much fun.